Me and religion have always had a complicated relationship. See, I never grew up in an overtly religious household, but my mom did take me to church a few times between the ages of 7 to 10. I remember the church's youth group being pretty dope. I mean, they always had ice cream and an air hockey table, so I don't think I ever necessarily dreaded going, but the message of the pastors always seemed to kind of go over my head. Fast forward to my teenage years when I came to the realization that I like
big booty Latino.
And instinctively, I rejected religion entirely. Because in my head, gay and God were two things that just didn't go together. In fact, I started to have some pretty strong feelings against religion. How were some words in an old book gonna tell me how to live my life? Was the threat of going to hell just some fear-mongering tactic made to control people? Was religion just some way to make our insignificant life appear significant? I didn't feel comforted by any of these ideas and started to feel like all of it was just a bit of a scam. But recently, I've started to think about religion in a much different way. And I think what's led me to reconsider the potential importance of religion is seeing what the world looks like without it. My generation has predominantly lost sight of any sort of God. There's virtually nothing connecting the members of Gen Z except for intense nihilism and infinite doom scrolling. We eat, sleep, scroll, work, and die. There's no strong set of values holding our lives together. There's no community, no greater purpose, no afterlife. People don't even want to have kids anymore. We don't seem to care what or if we leave anything behind. And I think a big potential cause of these issues is the decline of an overarching religion. Regardless of whether you believe a God actually exists or not, religion as an ideology is supposed to provide a set of values that aids in the function of a society. It encourages being kind and generous to your neighbors because you're stronger as a community. It discourages envy because it separates you from people and leads to dissatisfaction. But despite agreeing with many religious sentiments, there's one little problem. I'm gay, which is apparently not acceptable in basically any religion, so it's kind of hard to support something that doesn't support me back. I would feel a bit ingenuine claiming a religion that condemns something that is inherently and unchangeably a part of me. I think people make the assumption that gay people reject religion, but if you're anything like me, I don't reject religion. Religion rejects me. If you choose to adopt a certain religion, I believe you also adopt the responsibility to uphold the values of that religion. So even if I wanted to be a part of one, am I not just instantly excluded for failing to uphold one of its core values? I've wrestled with these ideas for a long time, and I want to be clear that I'm not claiming to have the right answers. I'm just sharing my perspective as someone who appreciates the values of religion, yet whose existence essentially defies God. Unfortunately, I feel like I would weaken a religion by claiming one. There's no way for me to adopt a religion without inadvertently tainting it. God's not a buffet. You can't choose one ideal to follow and then ignore the next. If you choose to follow a religion, there should be a deliberate and conscious devotion to it. Something that I think about a lot is how I want to raise my future kids. And more often than not, I come to the conclusion that I would much prefer to raise them religiously. As I've mentioned in this video, I do think that religion is overall a good thing. The values in and of themselves are beneficial. But if I want my kids to be religious, then shouldn't I be religious too? I mean, that's kind of the predicament that this whole video is about. I feel drawn to religion for a multitude of reasons, yet I don't feel like I belong in it. Would I weaken the symbol of Christianity by adopting it? Is it immoral of me to represent a religion that my sexuality is rejected in? I don't know, dude. I just find myself rejecting the apathetic, valueless nature of my generation. I've seen what it does to people, not having a greater purpose or anything to strive for. I was in the same boat for a long time, feeling like life was meaningless and like there was no point in trying anything at all. In theory, a lack of religion should encourage people to go seek their own meaning, but in practice, that's just not what happens. It's more like, oh, God doesn't exist? Great, I can do whatever I want. Then you get sucked into the endless vacuum of overconsumption and indulgence. Like, is this really a better alternative? Who is benefiting from rejecting religion? I think my generation and those to come would benefit from a return to some amount of traditional values. Religion was once the foundation of society's ideals and morals, but now the media is the main source telling us what's right and wrong. And that's scary, because if you don't consciously choose a value system, then the media will unconsciously choose it for you. The media will inadvertently become your religion if you don't have another value system in your head monitoring it. So what would you rather? Follow a value system that facilitates a productive society but might be a little homophobic? Or subscribe to whatever idea is trending in the media? Great options here. I'm not prescribing that you choose religion or don't choose religion. The truth is, everybody has a religion. Some people are their own god, others idolize a celebrity. We all have a god. Just choose yours carefully.